to welcome all of you here today for what I consider to be one of those rarities in Washington, and that is something's actually going to happen in a bipartisan fashion to help America. I am grateful to be with the lead Democratic sponsor today in her district, Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, as we roll out a piece of legislation that we think is going to make a big difference. What this legislation would do is to bring in the right-hand side, the United States Treasury, and would authorize the issuance of $4 billion of Treasury-backed bonds. The bondholders would receive tax credits in lieu of interest, and we're going to divide it into two pots. One pot for the hardest hit states of $2 billion, and then the other $2 billion for everybody else. Ohio qualifies, not surprisingly, because we wrote the legislation, as one of the hard hit. But we do have a use it or lose it clause, and so what basically happens is when these bonds go out to states or the land banks or the qualifying cities, they have 2 years to obligate and sell their bonds. If they don't, they go back into the pot and they're redistributed to those who are doing it successfully. When they go back in the second time, there's then a 5-year period that if nobody acts on them, you lose it. And so the incentive is to not give a bunch of money to people who are going to wander around and have fancy press conferences and say we're going to do something about it. The object is to give it to people who are actually going to do something.
Whenever we can work together as partners in Congress to solve a problem, it's a good day. Just look around this street. Look around this neighborhood and you'll see the devastating effects of foreclosure and predatory lending. 40% of the homes on this short block are either demolished or condemned. Last month, just 1 block from here, a woman and her infant daughter were dragged into a vacant garage and murdered. These blighted structures are a disease that infects the entire
County has a wonderfully successful land bank, and people all across the country are emulating that. I want to call up somebody who's been called the brains of this operation and talk about the success of the county land bank, which I understand recently demolished its 750th property, which is really amazing. So Gus Frangos, please help me welcome him.
Thank you, Congressman. The land bank, of course, was created in part to deal with the fallout from the foreclosure crisis, to be sure, and all of the decay, the blight, and the abandonment that ensued. And sure enough, we bring in about 100 or more properties a month into the land bank, and we bring those properties. We take in over 100 properties a month for the purpose of repurposing, reusing, rehabbing, and of course significant demolition of these properties. And I have often used the word root canal, that we're doing a much needed root canal in certain neighborhoods to try to get the decay and the blight out. And we do that. We remove the immediate blight, but this is far more than the removal of blight and the removal of decay. This is about a vision for the city. It's about a vision for Cleveland's neighborhoods. It's a vision for the neighborhood's the vision for the region's neighborhoods, and that is a vision where people can live, where people can have their children go to school and feel safe, where retail, where all of the things that people want in their lives can do it in a safe environment. And so it's about vision. It's not about just demolishing homes. It's with a purpose, and that's what the land bank is all about. That's what all of us here are all about. We don't want to just take houses down. We want to see a vision of a city that's thriving, that's bustling, where people feel good about living where they live. And so I'm very glad to be here today and to be a part of this, because I'm working with our federal partners, Congressman LaTourette, Congressman Fudge, our mayor, our county council president, Ellen Conley, our county executive Ed Fitzgerald, our councilman, and all of you in this gathering. We're going to do it together, and with the passage of this bill, it's going to make that vision, it's going to make the vision possible. So thank you very much. We're very grateful.